What did you think of the pass protection in that game, Mike?
Yeah, those are things that for us, are in the past a little bit. So we're working to improve those things, each and every week. This week's the start of it. Got it built on a couple of good days, so looking forward to today as well.
What are you working to build on? Like what specifically?
Yeah, it's working, all our schemes, all our fundamentals and techniques, and spending a really, detailed time in the individual periods to make sure that everyone's seeing it the same way.
How difficult does it make things when you don't know if Andrew's playing and exactly what your line configuration is going to be?
Yeah, those are just conversations you have with Dave's, and at the end of the day, he'll make the final decision. I know our training staff's working with all the guys that are injured to make sure that they come back healthy.
What's the balance between, you mentioned individual periods, I guess, doing enough work there and then also enough teamwork to make sure that the line's on the same page?
Yep, so we do schedule kind of the practice plan around those things and making sure you got good individual work, whether that's full speed or in the walkthrough. You're working off the tape and teaching it in the classroom, and then you bring it into kind of a tempo, whether it's a walkthrough type tempo, into full speed, into team drills, and then you're working combos together and separate individual drills. So there's a lot that works into the fundamental techniques of it, but our coaches do a great job of planning that out and detailing it out for the players.
Mike, how can you kind of unlock some of your skill players who can break games?
Yeah, you go through each week and you look at the opponent and see what they're doing. You try to get the best game plan you possibly can and put your players in the best position to be successful. So that's what we spent a lot of hours working through that and studying that, and that's what we're working to do this week.
Is it fair to say though that you didn't reach that bar, obviously on Sunday?
Yeah, well, every week there's always going to be something you want to clean up and get better at. So I think this week working on focusing on ourselves and working on our individual fundamentals and techniques, and then carrying that over into practice.
Mike, in hindsight, even though the score was getting away from you, do you look at the film and say that there was an opportunity maybe to stick with the run a little more, considering how well it worked on that first drive?
Yeah, the things that we did last week, we're going to take all the good stuff that we did, learn from the things that we didn't do so well, and then apply it to this week in practice. And I think our guys have had that approach, and they've taken that approach, and I think they're having a good week. And today's no different. We have to have the right urgency and the right tempo and demeanor, and practice that way.
Mike, with Evan, is it a matter of confidence with him at this point after some of the changes he made in the offseason, and how do you help him at this point?
Yeah, every player, we have to make sure as a coaching staff that we're giving them the best opportunity to be successful, and we're going to work on all the things that we need to improve on with each individual player. So it's never on offense, it's never really one guy. So it's always about how can we all 11-man operation work together to make this play go the right way. So whether it's one person or another, you're going to build on whatever positives we can find in that play, and then work the schemes and work our personnel groupings and work our tempo in practice to improve those things.
I'm sure everybody's motivated after a game like that, but when you come in for this week, do you expect to have a little bit more come down on you from the head coach, and have you?
I think our urgency has been. I've been happy with our urgency so far this week in practice. I think our guys have taken that to the classroom. You can see it in the installs. You can see it in the classroom. You can see it on the field. How they're approaching it. Yesterday was a good day, and so then we have to have great focus on today to make sure we get those things right and corrected.
Have you seen any change from Dave's at all about that?
I'd say Dave's has been as consistent as he's always been, and that's a great thing for us. Like he's pushing us. There's a standard in our building, and so we're always going to continue to push through that and make sure we sustain that standard.
You had to call a timeout because you had 10 men on the field. What do you need to clean up there, just operationally? Yeah,
just fixing up the communication, whether it's guys running off. That it's kind of an all-encompassing world where it's starts with me up in the box, getting that down to the guys in the field communicating and getting that right. But again, we're working through those lines of communication in practice too.
How much did Gannon bring from Philly to Arizona, and does it mean anything because the personnel was different though?
No, I mean, Coach Gannon's a really good coach. He's smart. He'll get those guys rolling. You can see some familiarity there from Philadelphia, some of the scheme stuff. They've only had one game and some preseason games, so you're trying to, kind of work through all the tape on that. But they play fast. You know, they're a tough team, so you know, we're looking forward to the challenge.
He had active safeties in Philly. I know it's only one game last week, but he's got two pretty good safeties over here. You seen using them kind of similar to what he did in Philly with Thompson and Buda over here?
Yeah, I mean, Buda Baker's just about everywhere on the field. He's an aggressive player. You can tell he's one of those guys that gets everyone lined up, and he flies to the football. He plays hard. He plays fast. So he's a guy you got to know where he's at, kind of, you know, everywhere on every snap. Yeah, I mean, they have some scheme flexibility, and they got athletic people on the perimeter with great speed. So you can see how they used, you know, some of the safeties in Philadelphia last season, to where you can kind of see some of that same kind of concepts showing up for them.
Did whatever prep you did for the interview process with them during the offseason, does any of that filter into how you're approaching this week and game planning and personnel and things like that?
No, I mean, that was so far in the past, and again, that was a great opportunity that I'm thankful for with Mr. Bidwell, and you know, having an opportunity to do that. But those things are, you know, that's in the past. It's now we're focused on the game, focused on, you know, getting our guys better today in practice.
Did anything about that process leave a bad taste in your mouth? Because obviously they had the tampering. It seemed like you were finalists, and all of a sudden Gannon gets the job. Yeah,
I mean, I think I addressed this in the off season, way back in March or whatever. But I think, you know, again, that a great experience. I learned a lot about myself, learned a lot about, you know, the NFL and on how those things work. So, you know, again, nothing but a great experience there.
Mike, you always hear in this league that, you know, if you put something on film and another team can take advantage of it, the next team and the next team are going to still do it if you don't fix it. Mm-hmm. Is there as much or even more work this week on correcting what bad you put on film, maybe even more so than kind of advancing things as to do things?
No, our urgency is going to always be the same, regardless. You know, we're going to have the same approach, our same process, and just really focus on that process. So improving on all the things that we need to get better at, and the things that we are doing really well, build on that. And whether it's scheme, whether that's you know, with the people that we have in the building, that's what we'll always try to work to attack that.